Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis, your movie trivia and discussion podcast. This podcast is a production of Jason Davis Voiceover. Please visit jasondavisvoice.com for information about voiceover services for commercials, internet and corporate videos, e-learning, phone messages, and more. Joining me today for the podcast, my good pal. So glad to have you here again. It's Erik Reitz.
And it's so grand to be here.
It's so grand.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to talk about a fun movie going back to June 1st, 1990 for the release date of this one. It's Total Recall.
Yes, we're in the 90s now.
I know, but it barely. It feels very much like an 80s movie. We'll talk about that in a second. Directed by Paul Verhoeven, also known for directing RoboCop and Basic Instinct. This movie, of course, stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rachel Ticotin, Sharon Stone, Ronnie Cox, and Michael Ironside, who's always a great bad guy.
Absolutely.
Based on the short story, We Can Remember It For You Wholesale by Philip K. Dick. The screen story written by Ronald Shusett, Dan O'Bannon, and John Poville. Screenplay written by Shusett, O'Bannon, and Gary Goldman. Estimated budget for this one, $65 million.
At that time, that was the second most expensive film ever made.
Next to Rambo 3.
Exactly.
And it's funny because, $65 million, especially for this type of movie, really doesn't feel like a lot. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars now for these big special effects kind of things.
And I never understood that because, if it's all mostly computer animated.
Well, this one wasn't, though.
Well, exactly.
Oh, you're saying now.
So now, why do they cost so much more if it's computer animated as opposed to building models and building stuff and having all these artists? I guess you have a lot of IT people and maybe they cost more.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking that possibly the stars' salaries have gotten to be really crazy these days.
Well, yeah.
Although I'm sure Schwarzenegger got paid pretty well for this movie.
He did. He did okay with this.
This movie made $119.4 million domestically, worldwide $261.3 million. So number 4 on the list of the highest domestic grossing Schwarzenegger films behind Terminator 2 and 3 and True Lies, another great movie. 500 people worked on the film. They built 45 sets that tied up 8 sound stages for 6 months.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so this was a big undertaking. What a fun movie, though.
It was a lot of fun. I thought I saw it in 1990 in the summer at this little resort in New York called Sunny Hill, which is like a place my family had been going to. My aunt had been going to for like 80 years as a little girl. Something crazy. There was a drive-in in one of the towns nearby, and I swear I saw it there with a couple of my cousins. So I called up my cousin Greg, and I was like, dude, didn't we see Total Recall at the drive-in? And he's like, I don't recall. I'm like, you asshole. But he's like, I think I did. I'm not sure, but we're trying to recreate it. So I was 25 years old.
Okay.
So I would have been with Kathy.
Okay.
And she would have been with me up at Sunny Hill.
Would she have been interested in seeing this movie, though?
Probably not, but she was interested in me.
Okay.
But she doesn't recall, again, not seeing it. I mean, I hate to be all this punniness.
I know.
But yeah, so she was no help. So I'm just going to stick with,
Okay.
I saw it on a drive-in, which was friggin' awesome.
I can imagine. I'm sure I saw this in the theaters, but I don't remember the specific experience of seeing this in a theater.
When you walked away, what did you think after seeing it?
Oh, I thought it was a great movie.
Okay. I did too. But did you think it was a cutting-edge sci-fi movie?
No, I just thought it was fun, like a fun sci-fi action adventure. Right. It was Schwarzenegger doing his thing,
Absolutely. I felt the same way, but now when I watched it a few nights ago, I started to catch some things.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, how can this be that? So I'm starting to understand that, wow, there's a lot of people out there that put this as like a top 10 sci-fi film of all time, which blows my mind. But then when I started looking into some of these things these people talk about, like, was Arnold actually dreaming throughout the whole movie? I was like, oh my God, I never really thought of that. And
yeah, me either, actually.
one of the first things I noticed is, okay, he goes to Total Recall and he's describing the woman he wants to hang out with.
Right.
Now, it's funny. He's choosing himself to be a special agent or whatever,
right.
A spy. And he describes her. And right before he falls asleep, you see a picture of Melina.
Right.
But he's not asleep yet. So then really, Recall put that picture in his mind, not the other way around.
Because at that point, he can't be dreaming. Although, you never know because he's been drugged, so he's a little woozy, a little loopy. So maybe he's now going into that dream state or something. I don't know.
So there's the one thing. I put it to you as we talk that at the beginning of the movie, when he wakes up, he's having the nightmare, and he wakes up and Sharon's there. Tell me she didn't look amazing. Oh my God, Sharon Stone looked amazing. I'm saying that was actually a flashback. It was not, that movie was not in real time. Him waking up was the end of time, not the actual beginning of time.
You're just confusing the shit out of me right now.
Because so many things, okay? The Melina thing. Another thing, and I got some of this stuff. Like I said, I went into a rabbit hole when I was researching this, and there was this dude, hashtag end of total recall by this dude or dudette named Looper.
Okay.
Oh my God, he had or she had a 7-minute video, the YouTube thing.
All the theories.
All the things. This is why he was actually asleep. And some of the stuff he brings up was great. The one I really agree with is, remember the big giant X-ray thing?
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the movie, he walks through it and nothing goes off because he's not, no weapons or anything. Now he goes to recall and now the adventure begins.
Right.
Okay. He goes running through the X-ray and it catches his gun.
Right.
But it does not catch the metal thing in his head, the tracking device in his head. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't track that. Why, you may say? Because in his fantasy, he hadn't come across that yet. Because it's not until he gets that suitcase from the other operative that Hauser tells him that you've got this thing in your head, push this up your nose there, and you pull it out.
Right.
How cool did that look when he's pulling that giant thing out?
That's the thing about this movie that I really love, that none of that stuff is done with computers. That's all like models and puppets and shit.
Yeah.
The fucking artistry in a movie like this, it's a forgotten thing.
I was still having trouble with the idea that this whole life of his during the movie was a dream. I said to myself, wait a minute. When he pulled that thing out of his nose, that little metal thing was encased in a sphere of something softer. So I would argue on the other side that, hey, maybe that thing hid the metal from the X-ray machine.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. It was like
kind of like in the Terminator.
Yeah, it was a lead thing or something.
Right. Kind of like how in the Terminator, the flesh covering the Terminator skeleton made it able to go through time.
So there's other things that happen. And again, maybe I need to just suspend disbelief. He comes home after running away from all the guys from Recall and everything.
Right.
And he comes in, he draws the shades and he keeps the lights off and and then he wakes up at some point and he gets into a fight with Sharon Stone. She starts beating the shit out of him. He's starting to remember stuff that he's not supposed to remember and all that. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone gives him a couple of really good shots to the nuts.
Oh, yeah. She
really
does.
like very effective kicks or knees or elbows or whatever to the nuts. Nothing.
Well,
no, I don't
get
care.
A little, from him.
He barely slows down. And I'm sorry. I know he's supposed to be superhuman and all that.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger or not. You get fucking kicked or kneed in the balls full force, you're fucking going down.
You're going down. Well, see, again, I would say that's another proof that he's having a dream.
Right. In his dream, he's, I got iron balls.
Right,
man.
right. In this whole dream sequence, the fact that, okay, this is a lot of just convenient stuff. How could he have dreamed of Melina at the beginning of the movie? You can say, oh, well, he dreamed of her because he met her on Mars.
As Hauser.
As Hauser.
Right.
You can say that.
Dreams come from the subconscious, supposedly, right? In real life.
Yes.
So if he had been reprogrammed somehow, there's still going to be some subconscious stuff going on.
Right.
And that would make sense that Melina's part of those memories.
Which is what that part of that movie, that's all based on. But then he's dreaming about them dying. Now, of course, I guess you could say, well, that's his guilt for leaving.
Yeah. Like, his mask breaks and all that stuff.
He was not going to recover. So you say, okay, well, that's his guilt.
Although he does not actually see them dying. That's almost, a premonition for what happens later in the movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Not exactly, but,
right.
When they get sucked out and when the atmosphere is forming and stuff.
There's so much fun stuff like that. Like when he goes to Recall, Schwarzenegger, he wasn't going to be the star of this movie.
The original story that it's based on is very different from the movie.
Yeah. The main lead is like a nerdy office guy.
Yeah, there was a lot of actors that were considered for this part before it was even, in front of Schwarzenegger. Matthew Broderick, Richard Dreyfuss.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
I guess would have been the most macho side.
Yeah, and a couple
Broderick
other people
would have been great.
If the character is supposed to be like sort of schlubby and not Schwarzenegger,
and you know
not
what?
an action hero type.
And I'm thinking this right now. If it was one of those guys, I think the idea that it was a dream sequence would have made more sense, because you'd be like, well, of course a wussy little guy is going to have big dreams like that.
Yeah.
But now when it's Schwarzenegger, it makes you have a double take. It's like, well, why would a guy like that? He definitely could have been
The reason that he would choose that package, the secret agent package, is because there's something drawing him to that, like his subconscious.
Yes.
Like he has the dreams. He keeps having the dreams.
Right.
So like, oh, maybe if I do this, it'll, make me remember something or whatever. I don't know.
But to do the movie, Schwarzenegger ended up, De Laurentiis' production company that was
originally attached. It went bankrupt.
Right. So then Arnold convinced Carolco Pictures, who he just did Red Heat with, to purchase Total Recall.
Okay.
So then he could star in it.
Right.
I think he's smart.
He knew it was going to be a good vehicle for him, for sure, for himself, and he probably knew it was going to be a big success too, based on the story. Speaking about that, Arnold was such a huge star at that time, and so successful, and such a big box office draw that he had a lot of clout. He had authority over all the creative aspects of the movie, script, production, and even some of the elements of distribution, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So at one point, they cut a trailer for this. Arnold wasn't happy with the trailer. He didn't think it was the best representation of the film. And then they did a poll or something, and they found out that only 43% of the public had awareness of the project.
Okay.
So he was like, oh, that's disastrous. That's, that's not going to open big. It's not going to be really good. So he actually convinced Carolco to spend more on advertising, which they did. And the movie ended up opening with 99% public awareness.
That's crazy.
Like that he had that kind of influence is amazing. Like that's what really got me about that. The fact that the original story has nothing to do with the big muscle bound guy.
Right.
It was about like somebody who was like an office drone. Which I don't think Arnold was going to convince anybody that he's that.
It would have been too tongue-in-cheek, kind of like with Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it's funny, he's Clark Kent, but he's still built. But other fun stuff just about the making of the movie.
Okay.
The public transportation.
That was actually what it looked like. And I don't know if it still looks like that now or if it's even more modernized, but it looked very modern. It looked very futuristic.
Yeah, like Mexico's ahead of us.
Mexico City. Yeah, who knows?
And also all the little cars and stuff were actual vehicles of the Mexico City Transportation Authority.
That's wild. Like the Johnny cabs and stuff?
Yeah, they like painted them. They put in screens and stuff. Oh, the Johnny cab. I don't know if you noticed at one point when Arnold's talking to the Johnny cab guy, Arnold says something and the Johnny cab guy, like when he turns, he rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it was
so
very
many
cool.
of these little like Easter eggs were great.
So every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of this time frame, when he was really jacked, always had to have the obligatory bicep shot.
Absolutely.
We talked about it in Running Man when he's carrying a tree or something. Or no, that was in Commando.
Commando.
But he's carrying a steel girder in Running
there's
Man.
always a bicep.
In this movie, the obligatory bicep scene is the jackhammer scene.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, sure. No, you
So,
got to get that in. Yeah.
Got to have that.
It's like when the Dukes of Hazzard always had to have the boys with their shirts off.
Okay, yeah.
Just
For
remember
the
that.
ladies. Why did we watch that show? What a terrible show.
It was a horrible show.
Anyway.
I guess it made me feel smart. Also, the guards on Mars actually were real American soldiers.
Oh, wow.
They were Marines and naval officers.
Very cool.
They were very real, which I'm sure then they would have known when they all surround Schwarzenegger. They're chasing him, and Schwarzenegger has the little
hologram thing?
the hologram thing. They're all in a circle around him, and they all start shooting.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, if he's a hologram, which he is,
Even if
they
he's
all would
not.
have shot each other.
Even if he's not.
And even if he's not.
Right.
Yeah, you don't stand across from each other with AK-47. I'm sure those guys must have been like,
This is stupid.
Come on, this is stupid. And you talk about the violence. This was an X-rated movie.
Yes, originally.
They cut out a lot. When I think about how violent this must have been before they cut stuff, I always think about the scene on the escalator where he's being chased and they end up shooting a bystander,
Right.
and Arnold grabs that guy's body and uses it
As a shield.
and he is being pummeled
Right.
with bullets
Right.
and body pieces are flying off him. And then it gets worse because then at the end of the scene, near the end of the scene, when he's laying on the ground, they're running, somebody steps on his body. I was
course.
like, all right,
Yeah.
that's unnecessary.
Yeah. I think Paul Verhoeven was kind of known for like after RoboCop for like sort of ultra violence, over the topness. And honestly, I think there's a fine line between this is just violent for violence sake and violent like cartoonish violence. Yeah. So like it's almost tongue in cheek. Quentin Tarantino makes a movie. Right. The blood is so over the top that it's almost like we get it. You're making a statement. It's almost like anti this.
Right.
When he first goes to recall and the receptionist is there who looks a little bit like Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson, yeah.
A little bit.
She was a little cutie.
When she's doing her nails with that thing. Those are the little things I forgot about.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but for whatever reason, forgot about that. And I was like amazed by it again watching last night. And I thought that was cool. It was so cool that they did it a second time.
Cost a lot of money to do
so
it.
let's get our money's worth.
Yeah,
right?
get a bang for the buck.
Exactly.
Law of diminishing returns there.
And then right after that, the salesman comes out, and he's like a total slick used car salesman kind of guy. I loved him.
Well, awesome. And it was funny. We're talking about him. A lot of things that he says are more foreshadowing.
Yes.
When he's talking to
he basically describes the whole movie.
Yeah. I love, and one of the greatest things I thought when he says, when you travel, you're dealing with lost luggage, you're dealing with the bad weather, you're dealing with, crooked taxi drivers. How freaking hilarious is that? Because Benny later on, who is a mutant. Mm-hmm. So you assume, okay, great, he's with the resistance.
Right.
And he ends up, no, he's horrible.
He's got 5 kids to feed.
He's got 4. Wait, no, 5.
Oh, shit, I'm not even married.
Man, great
good stuff.
Great character there.
Yeah.
This movie won an Oscar.
Yeah, a Special Achievement Award for visual effects.
Which is, now, the Special Achievement Award, I really didn't realize, that's not given out all the time. That's sparsely given out only when there's a film of some really cultural change or something so significant. Some other really interesting stuff. This artist, Ron Miller, the whole thing like with the mutants, that was his idea, the 3-breasted woman.
I can't believe we've been talking this long, and this is the first mention of the 3-breasted woman.
I know. Well, that just shows how mature we are.
Yeah, that's I got to say, that's progress. That's progress for us.
Well, what's funny, I read that she was supposed to have 4 breasts at first.
Really?
But she looked too much like a cow, and it's like...
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't even think 12-year-old boys would be turned on by that.
I actually read that the actress that played that character, Lycia Naff, she found the experience of playing that character humiliating. She was so appalled that she actually refused to do publicity for the movie. She was offered a chance to be on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and she turned it down because she just like felt gross about being that character.
I guess I can see that because her character wasn't really empowered at all. I mean, she wasn't a total...
She was a hooker.
Yeah, she was. I guess I'm thinking about like while Benny is talking to her, like Benny's feeling her.
Yeah.
And it would have been better if she was like, honey, you got to pay. And she kept herself covered. I got to say,
that scene was completely unnecessary.
No, it was necessary to get the young teenage boys in the theater.
They showed the 3 boobs once.
Right.
That could have been good enough. Why did they have to show him feeling her up?
No, exactly.
Other than the fact that he had, to foreshadow again, because he says, I wish I had a third hand, because we find out he does.
Right. That's true. Right. Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to use her again, like to be alluring with Richter.
Oh, right, with Richter.
And then he just puts a hole in her.
Yeah.
Shoots her right in those 3 boobs.
Oh, it was so sad. So sad.
How about the little person?
Oh, she was awesome.
Yeah, she was a badass. I love when she just takes that running start with the knife and just puts it right into the...
Oh, yeah.
It looked like
she jumps up on the bar and the bartender gives her that machine gun.
Yeah, she's badass. Very cool.
She was great.
Yeah. A cool thing that I read. So, when he watches the video of Hauser the first time. So at the end of that scene, when the bad guys catch up to him and he has to break the video, the computer, trying to destroy the evidence or whatever, and it gets stuck on the loop of him going, "Get your ass to Mars."
Yes.
According to the director, that was an afterthought to bridge the film's change from Earth to Mars. Mm-hmm. Originally, they wanted to shoot him, getting on the shuttle and all that kind of stuff, but they just didn't have the budget for it.
Right. Okay.
So that was kind of used as a way to transition from, to get him to Mars.
That worked.
Which I thought was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back. We were just talking about how unempowered Mary, the 3-breasted hooker, was. I think that the fight scene between Laurie and Melina is the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Instead of it just being like a typical quote-unquote cat fight. Yeah, where they're just, rolling around on the ground, slapping each other, pulling each other's hair. They actually were doing martial arts stuff.
Right.
That was very cool.
That was very
That
cool.
was done on purpose to, that they were actual warriors. They weren't just...
Very fanciful. Like in a dream.
Yeah, it's true.
I
guess.
You got come on, you got two hot women fighting over you.
Cool fighting.
And cool fighting, yeah. Special effects. One of the things, Quado. How friggin' awesome was that?
Yeah.
I remember first time watching the movie and, Arnold's, he's been escorted to the secret lair.
Right.
And now he's going into the secret room.
Right.
And now he's going to meet Quado. And you're waiting, at least I was waiting for some kind of creature to come slithering out somewhere. Right. But then the dude, Marshall Bell, the actor, turns around and it's friggin' a creature out
it's
of
very
his
cool.
stomach.
It's very cool. And that whole scene, you could tell it's a puppet. But again, I don't care. Like a lot of people would probably go, oh, it looks so fake.
Well, now especially.
But you know what? I like that it's all practical effects. It's all puppetry. It's so creative and so well done.
There were 15 puppeteers controlling that thing.
I know.
Plus they had little servos moving the mouth and the lips and all that.
Right.
So that was one huge piece. Like his face was covered too.
I think that's artistry at its best.
Oh my God.
And not to take anything away from the CGI artists that are working in today's movies, because that's amazing stuff too.
Oh, sure.
When it's done well, and it's not cheesy. I love the creativity in a movie like this. And that's, those kind of things are my favorite thing about this movie.
And I personally just prefer things by hand. I prefer models by hand and moving things in servers and all that.
Well, we come from an old school mentality. We're old.
Right. Yeah, definitely old. And Quado's voice, I thought, was really good.
Yeah, that was done by Marshall Bell, right?
Yes, you're right. Very soothing, very calming.
Yep.
Well, I'm upset that we've talked so much about this movie and I haven't somehow gotten you to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger scream or pain or anything because... That's the funniest thing.
You got it. You wanted. Give them people air. That wasn't a good one. Wait.
No, I wanted it like when he's actually... Right. That's it. I actually like the movie a whole lot more now that I've read the people talking about it.
Yeah, you've read all of the theories and stuff.
Yeah, and just getting into the...
I guess you can appreciate it more as a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
When you read all the deep dives and all the theories and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I'm happy for it to have science fiction elements, but be just a great action romp. I'm happy not doing all the diving, personally.
Right.
Is it a dream? Is it real? Who gives a shit? It's fun.
No. For me, it gives it that much more because as just, a regular action film, I'm like, okay, I'm not huge into action films, but now that it has all that funky stuff going on, I'm like, whoa, because, once you start playing with, minds and timelines and stuff, it's like, oh, now you've piqued my interest.
Sure. This is a movie that I'm glad I saw when it first came out in 1990 when I was younger.
Yeah.
As I get older and maybe a little bit more cynical, the bullshit detector goes off more. I don't have the same enthusiasm for letting shit go like I did back in the day.
Okay.
So, yeah, like all these things come up in the movie that you go, come on. There's a lot of stuff that's completely over the top ridiculous in this movie, but I don't like to normally make fun of all that stuff when we do the podcast because this podcast is not about ripping the film apart. It's about celebrating the film. So,
oh, absolutely.
And I do celebrate this movie. This movie plays well over and over again for me. It's definitely of its time. Schwarzenegger could do no wrong back then for me. I love that everything takes place in the seediest part of Mars possible, too.
Oh, sure. That's because he was picking a woman that was going to be sleazy.
But demure, too.
But demure. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And isn't that almost every man's fantasy? And by the way, I just have to give Melina...
Of course you do. Because you're like a teenager still.
She was beautiful, athletic, everything. Fun, smart. I don't know if she was funny. You never really got to see any. Was there any sense of humor?
That was your wife? What a bitch. That was humor.
All right, that was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
And what about, I really liked the scene the first time I saw it when he's trying to get into Mars, going through customs as that large woman.
Yes, that mask that blows up and stuff.
Yeah, and he takes the head off.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
Very
now,
cool.
Again, when he lifts that off, you can see his face
is a puppet.
Is animatronic. But so what? It was so darn close to real. And just the artistry that went into it.
Exactly. I don't care if we know that it's a puppet, because the amount of detail in that puppet is so fucking good that I'm like all in. I don't care.
Yeah. I'd rather see that than like bad CGI.
Oh, yeah. A fun movie that really holds up for me. Still enjoy it a lot. Love Schwarzenegger. Love everybody in this movie, actually.
Oh, everyone was great.
Even some of the ancillary characters on Mars, too, like Tony, the guy that helps him, who was played by Dean Norris. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, plays the DEA agent, Walter White's brother-in-law on that show. He's Tony, the guy that when we first meet him...
You have a lot of nerve showing your face.
Look who's talking. Yeah.
That's him?
Yeah, that's Dean Norris.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep. So anything else?
I'm done.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for checking out this episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis. This podcast, a production of Jason Davis VoiceOver. Please visit jasondavisvoice.com for information about voiceover services for commercials, internet and corporate videos, e-learning, phone messages, and so much more. And if you want to get in touch, you can email screenfacts@yahoo.com, or on Twitter, it's @JasonDavisVoice. And by the way, thanks to Jason Shaw at audionautics.com for the theme music for this podcast.